Bien, bonjour à toutes et à tous.
Well, hello. I think that you've noticed that I'm the only representative of the old economy, as we could call it. Well, I hope that I'm going to convince you that at the Caisse d'Épargne, it's not the case. We're not only part of the old economy. So the Caisse d'Épargne in Normandy was created about 2 centuries ago. And it thrived. It developed considerably in the last 200 years. And then it went through a number of economic and financial crises, but this bank is still present, and all the more so, it's even more robust and dynamic because we were always able to change and adapt to the changing world. So we're robust, it's true, but things can change overnight. And it is true that the revolution that we are witnessing, the revolution, the digital era, will have a world probably change in a deeper way than it ever did in the past. It's a new revolution, and now that internet is part of our daily lives, the behavior of consumer has changed very much. The consumer is now more demanding. I think that demanding, yes, is the right word. They are better informed. And naturally, their expectations need to be met. And of course, they're demanding, so they want everything immediately, anytime, everywhere. They want to have an instantaneous answer to all the questions. They want also a relevant answer to the questions, and they want to have a customized approach. They want to be addressed in a customized way. So our objective is to try and have the best product in the world. And what is really important for industry is the quality of the experience and the customer experience. So I think that a number of speakers before me have understood very well that this is very important. Those were representatives of a new economy. And there are also new stakeholders who want to try and enter the market of finance, the market of banking, and they want to improve the customer experience. So this is the case with a number of startups with payment payments that you can make through your mobile phone. And there are also other stakeholders who do not necessarily have something to sell, but they are creating a customer database in order to have a snapshot of the customer's profile. And basically, all those stakeholders, some are calling them barbarians or some sort of hawkers, but I tend to be very thankful because those people are shedding new light on our customers, and they're just restating the obvious, the fact that customer is king, and that we need to take good care of them, be it by mail or phone calls or naturally when they come to the branch. So this is part of our thinking. We have changed our strategy in order to focus our strategy on a customer, and also we've tried to change the training of our workers, of our collaborators in the branches, so that they can meet their expectations of our customers. In parallel to this, those workers have more powers, and they can give more relevant and instantaneous answers to a number of queries without going through the hierarchy. And I would like to underline the fact that this need of freedom by the customers, requires from us to evolve, to change our tools and stop using tools from the past. And I would like to explain very rapidly the way we manage projects. We used to have a very cumbersome, very heavy structure through which we were managing projects, and now we try to be more flexible. We try to work with more cooperation with the final users, the end users, be it the workers or the customers themselves. And I'm not going to dwell too much on this. I'm just also going to insist on something that is very important for all the users. It's a steering system, which in the past used to be really oriented on performance. That was a performance-oriented steering, and this was also organized in silos by family of products. But we've changed this now. We've changed the way we manage projects, and I'm going to give you an example of an interesting experience, an experience that we have implemented in a laboratory of projects. So we tend to encourage the workers to develop their own dashboards, to develop their own projects, and to define their own targets and objectives. And the first feedback we're getting from this experiment, from this pilot study, is rather satisfactory, even very satisfactory. People who work in those pilot study, in those labs, if you will, are very enthusiastic about their working conditions. And the first feedback I'm getting is the fact that so the workers are defining their objectives and then they feedback them to us. And obviously, the targets that they're going to set for themselves are going to be even higher than the ones we would have set for them. So it's very interesting to have this this ascending hierarchy. And then, obviously, it means that it breathes new meaning into their job. So when you define your own objectives, then you feel more committed to meeting those objectives. So the steering system's changed. In parallel to this, we are also rethinking our incentive scheme. In the past, it was something very complicated. It really looks like this slide here. So the incentive system had a variable share, which was based on the previous strategy. Now we need to take into account the new strategy. We need to give more sense, more meaning to action. And we also need to foster, more than in the past probably, we need to foster collective initiative, collective results, and responsibility as well. So this is a real revolution. It is a groundbreaking change. And this is obviously a need if we want to change in depth. And of course, we needed this if we wanted to have a better performance. So this is an ongoing work. But this requires also a cultural change. And this cultural change we need to also foster in the company, so that the spirit and the culture changes in the bank. We know that the level of customers' satisfaction is often highly correlated with the workers' the employees' satisfaction as well. So we've tried to implement very targeted actions in order to improve the well-being at work, with a system of concierge, a system of daycare for children in the company. And we've also conducted a number of studies and surveys in order to pinpoint the expectations of the workers. And we realized that their expectations meant most of the time breathing more meaning back into the work and also having more meaningful jobs. And after the surveys, we decided to organize a number of workshops in all the departments of Caisse d'Épargne, a number of workshops through which we helped and we encouraged people to talk about their work, to talk about the difficulties, the problems they were facing, and also they could voice how they could improve their work and how they could improve the way they work together. So this was this was then easier after those workshops to find common ways of working together, more collaborative ways of working, giving more meaning to the job in order to recreate the pleasure to work, the pleasure to come and work. Because performance and pleasure are often connected. This is the case in your daily life. It should be the same at work. Last point I'd like to underline. It is true that the managers have to be well taken care of as well, because they have a very important role to play in this period of change. In the past, they used to be a steering element. They were also controlling and reporting, and they were not motivating the teams. But it was hard to blame them, because it's difficult to motivate teams. It's difficult to give more enthusiasm, all the more so when your own job is not really motivating. So we decided that we needed to change this, the way our teams are managed, and so we needed to customize the way teams are managed, all the more so as authority is no longer respected in our society. And so we decided to really change and shift the way they work towards more mentoring and more a more tailored approach to management. And well, this is globally the scheme that we're trying to implement in order to foster more cooperation, and so that the manager find it easier to convince their teams, find it easier to create enthusiasm and pleasure to work. So those were really the main points I wanted to get across, and this is what we have created internally at the Caisse d'Épargne in order to really change and adapt to this changing industry. I would also like to underline the importance of exemplarity of managers and top managers, starting with myself. And I would like to showcase our values. Being exemplary means respecting those values here that you have on the slide. And those values are posted on a website. They are also on the walls of all our branches. It's not only communication, it's really something that is committing our workers towards our customers. So what I've tried to tell you, my main ambition as the chairman of the management board of the Caisse d'Épargne is the following. We would like our workers, our salaried, our employees to have the most fulfilling experience, the most fulfilling job in our bank, and their task is to facilitate the daily life of people, be they customers or not customers, to help them have a better experience, a better banking and also insurance experience. I thank you very much for your attention.